Members of media, this is 7 MPs from from PKR that has decided to take a stand on the issue of the Public Prosecutor Attorney General amendments, which we find to be short, lacking of what should be done. Okay, so we're going to start the press statement now. I will read out, and then YB Kesavan will read the Malay version, and then YB Hassan and also YB Zahir will be taking questions. This is a joint press statement of 7 members of Parliament from PKR on the constitutional amendment relating to the separation of officers of the Attorney General and the Public Prosecutor. The undersigned 7 members of Parliament have agreed to issue this joint press statement regarding the proposed constitutional amendments relating to the separation of the officers of the Attorney General and the Public Prosecutor. First, we welcome the Madani government's efforts to address several shortcomings identified during the previous parliamentary sitting on 2nd March 2026, where the proposed bill was not tabled for second reading. It was tabled as first reading but not read. We acknowledge that the meeting of the Parliamentary Special Select Committee, headed by the Law Minister YB Datuk Sri Azalina Othman, has conducted multiple engagements on this matter, and that numerous civil society and non-governmental organizations have likewise engaged the Madani government in pursuit of more meaningful reforms. While we acknowledge and appreciate some of the improvements made in the recent draft, we remain deeply concerned that the recent amendments continue to fail to address a fundamental issue, which is the need for Parliament to play a meaningful vetting role in the appointment process of the Public Prosecutor. What we must have is a bipartisan parliamentary vetting process for nominees proposed by the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, with open and transparent hearings in which Parliament on behalf of the Rakyat is able to rigorously examine nominees on their competence, on their experience, and their independence, and most importantly, their integrity. In particular, nominees should be required to submit a full, independently audited asset declaration, public asset declaration, not declared to the Prime Minister, during the nomination hearings. The nation cannot afford a situation where a powerful and senior public office holder later faces questions and investigations over issues of integrity and personal financial interests. In short, we do not want a repeat of the serious allegations involving the former Chief Commissioner of MACC, Tan Sri Azam Baki, to be repeated. For this reason, we reject the proposed Clause 18, which merely requires that the Judicial and Legal Service Commission shall inform Parliament the names of the persons to be nominated as Public Prosecutor, and Parliament may give comments to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, if any. This proposed process by the Law Minister and the committee of informing and then enabling comments does not constitute meaningful parliamentary vetting oversight. We reiterate the proposed mechanism as per the press statement issued by a few of us here on the 24th February 2026 as follows. Number 1, every public prosecutor nominee recommended by the JLSC must undergo a confirmation hearing at a bipartisan Parliamentary Special Select Committee level, which is broadcasted to the public. This is basically the same system they employ in the US when they have confirmation hearings of senior appointments. Nominees who pass the PSSC confirmation hearing should then be voted on in the Dewan Rakyat and will require a simple majority for the confirmations of these nominations. And then after that, the nominees that have been approved by Parliament should then be returned to the JLSC for further action. The JLSC then can forward it to Yang di-Pertuan Agong for the formal process. We note that the Madani government currently commands 151 members of Parliament, while this proposed constitutional amendment requires 148 votes to secure the necessary 2/3 majority. I want to make one point here. We have no issue whatsoever with the term limit of 10 years for the Prime Minister. No issue. We are supportive. In fact, all of us voted for that. Yeah? But when it comes to this one, we urge the government to engage us to reconsider a more measured approach and include our request for a comprehensive vetting process for the nominees. You cannot come and tell us We give you the names, you hear the names, then you comment lah, if any. May comment, not even shall comment, right? That is not vetting, okay? So we want our comprehensive vetting process instead. Our primary concern is to ensure that the Office of the Public Prosecutor, when this is separated, will have immense powers. You know the public prosecutor powers are immense. YB Hassan Karim can tell you he's a lawyer, how powerful that position is, including discretionary powers on the issue of discharge not amounting to acquittal, DNAA. He has full discretion to do anything he wants. Like the Attorney General now pursues DNAA as he likes, there's nothing we can do. This public prosecutor is immensely powerful. Therefore, we have to maintain the highest standards of integrity, independence, accountability, and public confidence. The current proposed amendments by the Madani government have failed to address this basic concern. Over the coming days, we may highlight additional provisions within the proposed amendments that, to be fair, I've spoken to many NGOs. They say they are very worried about 3-4 other clauses. Yeah, but I'm not going to conflate the issue. The issue here is about Parliament and parliamentarians, so we stick to this point. We will require refinement of these provisions as they come. However, we will definitely continue as MPs advocating for reforms that strengthen Parliament's role in safeguarding the independence of the Public Prosecutor Office. The Madani government should not expect members of Parliament to serve as a mere rubber stamp for constitutional amendments, in particular regarding amendments of such profound importance. Yeah? Our constitutional duty as members of Parliament is not to blindly support any bills put to us, but to carefully scrutinize and carry out reforms that promote better governance. We owe that duty because we took the oath, every one of us, Hassan Karim, Kesavan, YB Zahir, myself, all members of Parliament, 222, took the oath in Parliament to defend the Constitution and the Rakyat. Thank you so much. I will now invite YB Kesavan. Wait, last point. I will read out the names of all the members of Parliament, 7 that have signed. Number 1, myself, Wong Chen as the Member of Parliament Subang, YB Kesavan as the Member of Parliament Sungai Siput, YB Hajar Rozia binti Ismail, Member of Parliament Ampang, she cannot be here with us, YB Lee Chen Chong, the MP for Petaling Jahir, YB Zahir is here for Bangsa Maju, YB Hassan for Pasir Gudang, and also YB Muhammad Bakhtiar, who is away in Azerbaijan at the moment for Balik Pulau. Those 7 members of Parliament. Thank you. Well, none of us that signed this document earlier in February, right? Yeah. It was February, yeah. When we signed in February, are in that PSSC. Yeah. So some of us were consulted. We did tell, in particular, YB William what we wanted. Yeah. And then he, I suppose, represents PKR in that larger PSSC chaired by Azalina, right? And she's the law minister. It's very strange for the PSSC to be chaired by a minister because Parliament is supposed to be independent from the executive. Be that as it may, we don't care about the composition per se. They have published a report. Apparently, these issues were raised and they decided not to incorporate into the draft that we've seen. Yeah? It doesn't mean we have the PSSC is entitled to speak on our behalf. We are members of Parliament. It's clear. Members of media must, you read English, right? You read Malay. You can read it yourself. Maklum, dan kalau ada ulasan you bagi. That is, what, kindergarten? That is like, sekolah rendah. Huh? Kita ahli parlimen, There must be a vetting process. Ini bukan jawatan kecil ni, jawatan besar. Jawatan pendakwa raya ni, they can choose with discretionary power on not only DNA and all those things, but to charge or not to charge a person. You see? Yeah? So the members of Parliament must be involved.